What's up guys, welcome back to video number 7, the final video in the Theme Park Tycoon 2 tutorial series. I'm Connor and let's jump right into this. So we last left off with this coaster you see right here. We made it in the advanced editor and it's looking pretty good, pretty smooth, pretty realistic looking, but it's really boring to be honest. There's not much to it. I got some lights around here and that's really it. So in this video we're going to go over how to decorate a ride such as this one. First off, you should choose a theme for your ride. I'm going to go with a pretty basic one here of just some general decorations, some trees here and there, some terrain, and a couple props. But once again, creativity is up to you. Don't base what you're doing off of what I'm doing here on this coaster. To start off, I'm just going to decorate around the station here. Goodbye, Mr. Lightball, you'll be missed. So to start out, let's add in a queue. Click number 4 and go over to queue paths and choose what type of path you want. I'm going to use a wooden path, and we're going to make this into a little building here. I have my queue line ready, not too long, but not really short that no one will fit in it. And then let's add the exit path over here. If you want to get rid of this path turning to the right here, it's pretty simple and all you need to do is place a piece in front like this, and then delete it. Now you can see it's going straight. That simple. So I don't really like this bright blue line, so I'm going to pick these colors, and then I'm just going to match the color to what it is right here. And you can see the line somewhat disappears, but you can still see that it's there. Next up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some of this path and bring it on the other side to give a little bit more space to the area right here so players can comfortably get on and off the ride. Now I'm going to choose what kind of walls I want, and I want to have this coaster be a little bit more open feeling, so I'm going to go for these wooden frames. First I'll start out with the wall though, so that we have a little bit of a base around our building. Next up, I want to isolate our line here, so I'm just going to take some rope, and then we can isolate our line so that it's a little bit more defined. Now you can see it's pretty easy to follow the path to the entrance of the ride. Next, let's grab those wooden frames, and we can pop those in all around our building. By holding shift, you can keep the item at its original height so that it's pretty easy to go around your whole building here and just add in these supports. Now that we have our walls looking pretty good, let's decide what we want to do for our roof. I decided earlier that I want to have a little bit of a taller roof over where I have the station here. So if we go over to roofs, I'll grab a concrete roof, recolor it to be gray so it kind of has a better theme that matches with the brown here instead of a kind of red that doesn't go well. Once again, by holding shift, I can add in these roof panels here. So once I've got these in, I'll grab this other concrete roof here, recolor it to match it, and then we can place this on once again by holding shift, and there we go. That's our roof added on right there. Now it'd be nice to cover up these little areas we have on the side, so let's go back over to the walls. If we hit 6, we can go over to the side much quicker and we're right back where we were. We can add in these little supports right here around the edges, and then something to cap it off in the middle here, and lastly a little bit of decoration right in between. Now that we have that side done, let's figure out what to do above the line here. So for the line, I was thinking of doing something a little bit more open and a little bit more basic. Let's just go with this mesh roof piece right here, place it around the top, and then there we go. We have this semi-open and enclosed feeling area right here. If you want to add a little bit more decoration, you can grab some wooden posts and add in something to that effect. Now we have our station generally completed, and we can move on to the ride itself. Now I need to delete all these light orbs. I hope it doesn't become night. That'd really suck. Boop, 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 boop. So what do we do next? For me, I'm going to add in a little bit of terrain around this general section here, because I want this area where these two meet to kind of be like a cave. So what I can do is I can look from above. I can kind of see where I want it to be. So right here seems good. I'll move my camera out of the way a bit. I'll drag it up above where I want that coaster, and you can see it builds around the coaster here. So I'm going to edit it around a bit so that it fits with the ride. So there we go. After a bit of editing and adding in some terrain around this, we have ourselves a nice little cave. But it's kind of boring with all just grass, so let's recolor this. So from here, it's up to you if you want to add in some decoration around on top of these flatter spots, or if you want to edit in the terrain so it's a bit smoother looking. Personally, right now, in the interest of time, I'm going to add in some trees around this. But don't get me wrong, trees still look amazingly nice no matter what you put them around. And remember, when you're placing in trees, always rotate your trees before you place another one so that they're not all identical. So just like that, we have what looks like half of our coaster already decorated, just in that little area. So next, let's move over onto this section. What I thought would be a cool thing to add in here is just a simple little house for decoration, maybe 2 houses, up to you, however you want to add in stuff. So now once we got our house built here, we can just add in some trees and shrubs to fill in the empty area around. Maybe do a little bit of training as well. So just like that, we have our coaster basically fully decorated. In certain areas, such as this one right here, you can see I don't have anything kind of around where this part of the track is going. And the main reason I did that is because if this were a real park, we'd probably have some sort of main area where people got onto the ride from out here. So if I were to simulate this, you can see it's a cool area where people can walk underneath the coaster that they're about to go on. Pretty cool to see that. Now there are just a couple more things that can go into making a coaster and customizing it how you want it to look. For example, there's a couple parts such as here and over here that seem to just be floating in midair somewhat. And this is due to something being underneath them where the coaster kind of lost its supporting beam. And man, these are some pretty thin supporting beams for a giant coaster that pulls a lot of G-forces. So what some people tend to do is they make their own custom supports. I can show you a small example right here by simply grabbing some of the wooden supports, as you can see here, you find a spot that your coaster generally aligns with one of the supports that you're placing in. So this seems like a good spot here. If we go up a bit, add in a couple here, maybe if we're able to, we can fit this in perfectly like that. But sadly we can't, so we're just going to add in a smaller one there. Though it's not touching, it looks generally like it's supporting the ride, and it does the same thing basically. Then down at the bottom, if we scroll over here, we can add in some of these to make it look a bit more fancy. And maybe for a bit more of support, we can remove this and add in one with a cross like this. Then we can just remove this support here, and we have our own custom support that looks like it's a lot stronger than the other one, and it fills in gaps that may need filling, such as this one here that looks like it's hovering above the pathway. The final step to completing your coaster's decoration is very simple, and that's its color. All you need to do is click here, and like I said in the first video, go over to colors, and then you can select the colors. I think I'm going to go with a gray color for the second one that gives it almost a wooden feeling. Lastly, we can go down to our vehicle colors, and I'll go with a greenish feel for this one, like it's going through the forest itself. Now your coaster is completed, and all that's left to do is show it off to others and ride it. So let's give this a test. So as you can see, there's a lot more to look at while the coaster's running, instead of just the blank emptiness that it was before this video started. That's all there is for this last video, and I just want to thank you guys for everyone who's made it through all 7 of these videos in the tutorial series. I've loved this game for a while now, and it hurts me to see people just make some terrible coasters, terrible theme parks, and I thought this would be a good way to help people out so that they can learn a bit more about what you can actually do in this game. The main thing to remember is be creative. Use your creativity to your advantage. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you liked it, hit that like button down below. And if you like the series or just want to see more of what comes out next, hit that subscribe button down below because I'm going to be coming out with so many videos in the near future. I wish you guys the best of luck in your theme parks, and I will see you in the next one.